He entered this in a competition actually years ago because it was a reproduction of a piece from John Doan, I think was the maker from Niagara, and he always liked the style of it. And of course the doors are all graduated, so like about 1/4 inch per size. So it speaks to the proportions of the piece, and proportions in bodies and in furniture are similar. There's a rhyme and a reason to it. And I was always amazed that he was able to know what that was. It seemed to me it was intuitive. Because I said to him, when you look at that piece or you look at this piece, then you know how deep this is makes a big difference to the look of the piece.
So the last little while, you get older, you don't have. And again, I'm at a point where I can almost do as much work as I want to do, but I still like to work, and I'm going to work as long as I can, and I've got the skills, and you know, and it's something that it's hard to come by. Like I'm getting more calls, more inquiries about, and I think a lot of guys that go to school in Conestoga or whatever in the woodworking business, they think, okay, I can just go out and make things and people are going to buy them. Well, you can certainly go out and make things. It's just you got to get the people to buy them, and that's the hardest part, you know. And so I try to set myself apart from the average furniture by doing the handmade dovetails, you know, the construction that was done 150, 200 years ago when some of the best furniture was ever made was in the 1790s, 1800 area. Because I can't compete with furniture that's coming from all over the world, you know, in crates and assembled here and wherever it is, you know. I mean, somebody comes with an idea and you don't want to discourage if you think, okay, that's a dumb idea. I mean, you work with them and you say, well, what you thought about this, or you thought about that, or maybe we can't do that, or you know, you can't put a cupboard right tight up against the woodwork because it wouldn't look nice. You want to have space around it, and so on and so forth. But generally, I say, if you got a picture, you know, first of all, you decide on the style and the wood and a picture is always the best though, because then you see what I see. Because you describe what you want, I see something and you see something, and when it's made, maybe you don't like what I see.
It's not like making a loaf of bread. I mean, it's not, you know, they're not all the same. So, you know, your own creativity goes into every piece, whether it's a reproduction or whether it's, you know, a one of a kind that you dreamt up out of your head. I said, yeah, the artistic aspect is obviously there, because I don't think you couldn't possibly, in my opinion, take the same piece of cherry every time and make the same thing day after day. That would not be artistic. But if you're getting a piece of wood and I say to you, why did you make this bench this long? It's to be shorter. Well, the wood was that long, and I had to use that whole piece as it was. So I mean, there's an artistic component to whether you choose to see it or not.
The Davis Gallery in Stratford, are you familiar with that? It's a Canadian Arts Gallery. He promotes all Canadian arts, and he's one of the few galleries that brings in furniture, because most galleries, they start off wanting to do the furniture part, but it's hard to get customers. Like people come in, they want to buy something that's they can take home with them, you know. And so taking home, even if it's a small table, it's sometimes a hard thing to do. So he does promote that, and when I first put things in there, I'd put some of my reproduction antiques, which were lovely, but people go into an art gallery wanting to see something different, right? So he kind of inspired me to make something. He said, make something, you know, different. So anyway, I put thinking cap on, and I came up with a few interesting designs, and that coffee table out there with the pyramid legs that comes up through and the glasses on the top, that would be one of them. And so anyway, he was an influence on me to change my thinking when I want to bring things into the art gallery to have them sell them. So.